Hey everyone, Carlton here, and today I want to talk about DJI new 360 camera and why I won't be buying one. So I own a couple of DJI cameras. I also own Sony cameras. I own the Sony A7S Mark III and own a couple of those. I also own DJI Pocket 3 and I own 3 DJI action cameras. And I love the cameras. I'm a videographer, so I shoot a lot of different type of events. So I use these small action cameras alongside my full frame cameras just to get different perspective and use them in many different type of ways. So I saw the DJI 360 camera came out, and I definitely wanted to check it out because I always think of ways I can use different cameras, and I'm thinking a 360 camera, I can probably use it at a wedding. But after I saw some of the footage online, I wasn't really impressed by it. Compared to the Insta360 camera, I thought the Insta360 camera did better in a lot of ways. So off the bat, one of the biggest cons of the new DJI 360 camera is that the lens is not replaceable. So if the lens gets a scratch or if it's broken, you got to send it back to DJI and wait until they repair it and send it back to you. And that's not a good workflow if you need the camera for an event. So that's one of the biggest cons. Compared to the Insta360 X5, the lens is replaceable and you can do it right at home. So I think that that's a big win for Insta360. And I don't know why DJI would bring out a new camera to compete with the Insta360, yet they would leave out one of the biggest features of the Insta360. I don't understand it, but that's what they did. And I think that some people wouldn't buy the DJI camera just because of that one mistake that they make. Now, the Insta360 has been around for a while. The X5 is the 5th generation. So they had a lot of time to perfect this camera. I'm not saying that the camera is perfect, but it's definitely a lot more baked than the DJI 360 camera. For instance, they have the software for Insta360. It's very good and they've done a lot of updates over the years. A lot of people have said many good things about it. It's much easier to use. It have a ton more features, have a ton of users, and it's just better. It's just hands down better. Now, I'm not bashing DJI because remember, I own a lot of DJI products. I mean, this mic that you're listening to right now is a DJI Mic 2. The camera that you're watching right now is a DJI Action 5 Pro. So I obviously love DJI products, but I'm not the type of person to be a fanboy, so to speak. I'm just gonna tell you facts and usability. I'm not saying that a DJI 360 camera wouldn't work for some people because I think a lot of us, when we have a camera from one brand, we're more than likely to buy another camera from that same brand because we're already familiar with the software, we're familiar with the brand, we're familiar with the menu, and we're familiar with the look of the camera. So that's why I was really waiting for DJI to release this 360 camera to see if it's going to be good enough for me to use at events. And from what I've seen, not really impressed. Because when I'm shooting at weddings and stuff like that, I need a camera that can really handle low light. And I really didn't like how it looked. It looked soft and it just did not measure up against the Insta360. So I really wasn't excited when I saw the low light footage. Now the DJI 360 has a 1-inch sensor and I was really anticipating an amazing image from it. And the image is not bad in good light. It's a good camera, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Let's put it like that. Especially the low light footage. I thought the Insta360 with a smaller sensor did just as good or sometimes even better than the DJI 360 in low light situations. So with 360 footage, there's a lot more editing to do because you got to reframe and with this DJI action camera here, I just got to put it on my timeline, cut out the parts that I don't want. With the 360 footage, I got to learn the workflow, I have to reframe, and it's a lot more work. So that's one of the things that turn people off about 360 cameras. They're thinking they don't want to be doing all that editing. So let's talk about some pros for the DJI 360 camera. So the DJI 360 camera has two big advantages over the Insta360. And the first one is that the DJI 360 has 10-bit color. And that 10-bit color will allow you to edit the footage and get it just the way you want it to look. So that's great because the Insta360 only offers 8-bit color. Now, it does look good. The 8-bit color does look good. I'm just saying for the people who want to do a lot of color grading, then the DJI wins because the 10-bit color is definitely good. When we look at log footage, when I look at the log footage from the DJI 360 camera versus the Insta360 log footage, the Insta360 log footage looks like real log. It's grayed out. And the DJI log footage looks half-baked. It looks like there's still color in it. So it's just kind of weird. And I know this also because on the action camera, it's the same thing. So on this camera, the log footage does not look like real log footage. It looks like it's half a log, like a lot of colors are still baked in. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I've never seen log footage like this before. Now, I'm able to still edit it and get the nice colors that I want. But I would prefer if the log footage was flatter, basically. The Insta360 log footage definitely looks flatter than the DJI 360 log footage. Now let's talk about another big positive for the DJI 360. The DJI 360 comes with 105 gigabytes of internal storage. That's huge because the Insta360 doesn't come with any at all, zero. In order to use the Insta360 camera, you have to input an SD card. With a DJI 360 camera, you could shoot regardless if you forgot your SD card home or not. And also in this action camera that I'm shooting with right now, it has 47 gigabytes of internal storage. So that's just amazing. I always think that the price of storage is so cheap. Why do companies not include some storage in every device? I'm talking like zoom cameras and zoom recorders and Sony cameras and all these different brands, right? Canon and all of this, Panasonic. Why don't they include some internal storage? It's so friggin' cheap. So in order to get some competitive advantage, why don't they do it? But DJI decided to do it. And as far as I know, they're the only one who include internal storage in their cameras. And that's just amazing. So that's a big, big plus for DJI 360 camera. So if I had to buy a 360 camera right now, I would more than likely go with the Insta360 camera. I just think that it's just more polished, has a lot more accessories, the colors look good, the low light footage looks good. It's just well done. And I'm happy that DJI came out with a 360 camera because competition is great for us consumers. Because now that DJI camera is out, Insta360 now has to step up even more. And more than likely, they're going to have to reduce the price of their cameras because at the moment, the DJI 360 camera is cheaper than the Insta360 camera. So that's another plus for DJI. They bring out the camera, they priced it cheaper than the Insta360, and they're really trying to be competitive. And now the ball is passed on to Insta360 to reduce their price, and that's going to be good for all of us. I wish DJI just match. If they just matched feature for feature, then I probably would have stick with DJI. But if I'm going to buy a 360 camera and I really do want to buy one to test it out at events, I just want to experiment with it, to be honest with you. And if I was going to buy one right now, which I am considering, I would get the Insta360 camera. I'm thinking the next generation of the DJI 360 is going to be really good. DJI is going to obviously improve it. Hopefully they listen to reviewers and their fans, and they make the changes to improve the camera to really compete better with Insta360. Because at the moment, Insta360 is still the leader in 360 cameras. They have all the experience making the camera. They have the software baked in, good. They have the app, with so many features, a lot more features than the DJI camera. It's very easy to use. So when Insta360 comes out with the X6, it should have 10-bit color, just because you don't want to give your competition a leg up on you. Because if somebody comparing the two cameras and this person really care about color, they're going to go with the DJI. Because if color is the biggest thing for them, they're going to go with the brand that has it. So you don't want to give your competition an advantage. So you either want to match them or exceed them. And in this case, when it comes to color, DJI definitely is better than the Insta360. If I was going to buy a 360 camera today, I'll definitely go with the Insta360. And you tell me which one you prefer, which one are you going to go with if you're planning on buying one. And if you already own it, let me know pros and cons of either camera, because as I said, I'm not a fanboy of any brand. I use Sony cameras, I've used Canon cameras, Panasonic. I'm using whichever one is going to give me the most features. If I find a camera and it has all the features that I need and the price is right, I'm getting it. Now, I would have preferred to buy the DJI 360 camera because I'm familiar with the Mimo app. I'm familiar with the footage. It uses the same battery as the Action 5. And I like DJI as a whole. I like the company. But I'm not going to marry myself to a company and buy their product if it's not as good as the competition. I'm just not going to do that, because then I'm just limiting myself and I'm just being a fanboy, and I'm not getting paid by DJI or anybody else. This is all just my opinion. So I would go with Insta360 as of today. Now, hopefully in a year or two, when DJI release the next generation of the 360 camera, hopefully they put the kitchen sink inside of it and we can be very happy, and then the competition is going to heat up even more between the two companies. So that's my thoughts on the new DJI 360 camera compared to the Insta360. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.